know. I just keep vibing. I was just rocking side to side here, man. Dude, I can't. Dude, that intro that hits hard.
What's up, family?
What's
James
up?
with the crack tonight. Man, even though it's a Canada Dry, we'll take it. We'll accept it.
I'm not drinking tonight.
Hey, I don't blame you.
I have a little confession, guys. When we were on Brunch Back to Magic, I got a little drunk.
Overdid it. I think any Disneyland fan has to put up with all of us. Disneyland sucks.
You drove me to drinking, guys, but you know what? I didn't go down without a fight. Yeah.
That's true. My man hung in there.
I hung a good fight. I hung a good fight. You know, and if you notice, you're tuned in with me and Josh here at good old Operation Magic. You know, having a good time. We're just after the holidays. Hope you had a good holiday, everybody. I know I did. Full, fat, and happy Christmas. Went to my mom's in California. Got to do some good stuff down there. How was your holiday, Josh?
Oh, well, really good. No matter what, any holiday spent with that little girl of mine is a beautiful time. So,
yep, that's how it is in my family.
It's so cool how it shifts from what am I going to get for Christmas to I can't wait to just pour every dollar I got into this little girl Christmas.
Is my volume good tonight? Because I know, so I go back and listen to episodes, and I know sometimes it's kind of quiet. So I'm trying to get my volume right, guys. I'm sorry, it's just obnoxious sometimes. I have different programs. I do radio on the side, and when you do shit like I do, it's hard. It's hard to keep everything in order. But I try and get it right for you guys because you are our family, our squad. We're happy to have you here. And we have a great show tonight. I truly love the topic that Josh just brought to me like 10 minutes ago. Just said, hey, James, I've got this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's run it. Let's see what we can do. And I'm all about great topics and fun ideas. And gosh, this one's going to really hit home, I think, for service members in a big way. Mental health in a big way. I think it's going to hit so many aspects of our life after service, and I think it's going to hit a lot of just people who work in any industry that's done it for a long time. It's not just this is a one for all type of episode, but it does push our narrative of veteran a big way. So Josh, tell us what you presented me.
Yeah, dude, this could relate to everybody. We're obviously choosing it to relate to us as veterans, but this dilemma could be for anybody. Yeah. The title of this video is going to be After the Mission Ends, and the main focus is about finding that purpose again after service. A little bit of identity loss after that uniform comes off, and why the main driving question is why freedom can feel heavier than structure, which every time I read that sentence, it's like, I couldn't wait to get out. And
yeah, oh yeah,
dude, when you're built up and structured, your structure is perfect, and you're able to have a little bit of freedom, and then, like a day pass, right? Cool, go crazy. That day pass turns into the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. It could get a little hairy to navigate. So I think most service members struggle with getting out. And we're going to tackle that right now. But because we are a veteran and Disney-focused podcast, we're going to try to find some characters out there who struggle a little bit with identity crisis too, and how they navigated it. So I'm kind of excited to get in this. I think a good way to start is probably going to be a quick little rundown of how, let's go with the first few months was for us. Right when we get out. Right when we get out. So I'll let you kick it off. Just a quick rundown, man, of what it was like for you when your uniform got folded up and put in a closet. and you were just out wild world on your own.
I'll say the first 2 or 3 months were really tough, because I was lost. I was really, really lost for probably the first 6 months. Because you think about it, you go from wearing your uniform, doing your job, whatever your job was in the military, your MOS, every day, being around these people that you were around for years, months, weeks. You build a bond with. They're your brothers, your sisters, and some of them you deployed with. Many of you didn't, and you're training up to deploy. And it's like it didn't matter how shitty the time was or how hard the time was. That was your family. And yeah, you had your family back home, your paternal family, but it wasn't like that family that you had in the military. And for me, that was like, it was a struggle. It was really hard because I came back home to my family, but the world was different in my eyes. Trying to find my footing, because at 22 years old, almost 23 years old, you're still really unwise to the world.
Yeah.
And
well, we haven't gotten to live in it yet.
No. And I went from being
thing, man.
I went from being structured, being told what to do, where to be, how to do it, when to do it, sort of mentality. Yeah, I had my freedom when Liberty called and we were able to leave base, at 16:30, whatever that time might have been, you got off. But the fact is when you're deployed, you don't get that. And it's like,
even that freedom, bro, is like letting a dog out in the backyard.
Oh yeah,
and you get called right back in.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's short-lived. It's not permanent.
Exactly. That's like when I went to Disney. That was like, oh my god, I want to be here forever, but it was short-lived because I had to be called back. It was like, oh, you got from this time to this time. Oh, all right, whatever. I went on leave. I had 2 weeks, but now I have all this time. I have to find a new life, and it was hard. I moved in with my cousin and his girlfriend, and that didn't work. I called my mom on a Wednesday. She was there on a Thursday, and I was back home trying to find myself, and it was one of the hardest transformational times in my life. It truly was. I don't even, yeah, it was wild.
So for me, I would say that it was, the word that comes to mind from my experiences is very humbling. I got humbled quickly that the world never stopped for me while I was in.
Yeah.
Everybody continued their own life. After 7 years, life kept churning. And in a job in the military, you could feel like, obviously you're progressing in different fields, but essentially you're put in a bubble and it never really progresses.
No.
Like the days are long and the same. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you took words right out of my mouth. Yep.
And I went into college right away, and the structure from the military helped me tremendously. I front loaded all my classes to 8 a.m. classes that nobody wanted, and 8 a.m. instead of like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Awesome. I get to sleep in. Perfect.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm out by noon. What kind of day is this? Go to the gym, I got a job at the hotel, and for $10 an hour, and I was like, okay, like, what are the next steps here? Because this seems like initially my structure was really paying off, and then I'd sleep in or I'd skip a class and slowly start kind of settling into a new lazy routine, you could say. Right. No one's breathing down my neck to make stuff happen. And it was truly a crazy eye-opening experience. And I've never really found my place until years later, right, where, wherever the universe is going to take me to settle in like it did now. And it's been humbling, dude. Yeah.
See, for me, I didn't go to college right away. I tried to find my footing and like I took a job at Safeway. We have, I don't know if you guys have Safeways in South Carolina.
Heard of it.
So I worked there in the deli. That didn't work well because working in the deli was not a good idea. That that sucked. I worked. Oh gosh. Oh, I worked just. I tried construction. I tried, and I loved it, but the VA didn't like, that I was doing a
Yeah,
hard labor job on my back when I claimed
hard
my
to do that.
back. So it's like, okay, I had to find my way in the world, and I finally decided, yeah, after about a year out, I want to say 9 months. I was just about 20. I turned 24 when I moved after my first semester of college. I moved to a different college, and I turned 24. Um, like moving, I moved during the summer. And I turned 24 finally on my own in my own house. Um, I had a 2-bedroom house. My VA stuff was figured out. I had got my first rating. I had my GI Bill, so I finally had stuff figured out, and it was because of the construction job that I went leaned the way I did, but it worked
No,
out phenomenally in my favor, and I've progressed since then. And I've had setbacks, but those first few months were so tough. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
dude, and it's like I don't know why this comes to my mind. This could be an outrageous kind of analogy,
Right.
but it's like the Titanic to me. Like when the Titanic's going down, those people share such a moment in time that's like full of panic, full of
Yeah.
crazy shit happening all around them, and they probably become closer to people in that like catastrophe
Yeah.
than they are to their own friends and family after that.
No, 100%.
And
And
and that was what was crazy for me, bro. Is like there's no roll call was annoying. Show up, get in
oh god.
formation,
Yep.
make sure you're all there, no one's dead, no one's off drunk somewhere or arrested, and go about doing your job. I'm like, this is
Yep.
fucking
You're like,
annoying, bro.
I hope somebody didn't make the blotter, because we're all going to hear about who made the blotter this weekend.
Yeah,
And
and then you miss those moments.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
start getting out, and your friends are different. They don't quite get what you did or where you were at, or and you look at things from a whole different lens, and you're trying to
Mhm.
just fit in again, and you just never quite fit. Your
Yeah.
shape is kind of off.
And I was very fortunate in multiple ways, and through friendships I forged. One of my best friends, he was my battle buddy in boot camp, so he ended up being my roommate after I had a hardship. Lou, who was on the show, he was my last roommate in the Marine Corps, and that's a friendship that I still have to this day, and we live just a couple hours away from each other. So it's like when you have those friendships, it that helps those transitions when you're struggling, like when you're going through hardships, and um you have someone to call, hey, what's going, but it's such a different world, because you those annoyances, like you said, I have to show up to formation when, it's Friday, why is this shop getting out at noon and we're still here till 16:30?
Right.
But you're like, I long for hearing that shit again. I don't know. That's weird.
That's what I meant when I get on like Instagram or Facebook and I see people I've deployed with graduating from college, having a new baby, getting married, posting about their new job. It fills me with so much pride because I know how hard that is to have those little goals after you get out and be successful, because the truth is they don't set you up for success at all. They
No.
take what they need, they send you on your way, and expect you to figure it out. And it's
My my
tough.
my best friend EW. I've known him since we were 5 years old in kindergarten. He just retired out of the Air Force, 24 years. He's still going through the bureaucratic side of BS of it. Oh no, is it 20? Yeah, I think 24 years or 22 years. He has well over what he needs. I think it's
Good for
24
him.
he did. Yeah, but he said it best. He goes, they they don't, because he did all this time and he thought it was going to be a breeze to get out, because when you have sorry, this was bothering me. I had to fix it. It's a military thing. You know how that goes. So another thing that you're taught, and little things you long for. stupid stuff like that, fixing your collar. But
already even, baby.
yeah, so EEW, he's like, they'd rather try and find a way to keep you in than help you get out. And it's so true. And I when he said that, it just I'm like, oh my gosh, he's 100% right. Because I never thought it from a long term perspective. Someone who had done his time and above. 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. Yeah, well, how much time you put in. But someone who was a lifer.
And that's what's tough about guys that I, at least in my personal circle, is the ailments, the mental health aspect of serving never really shows up while you're serving, because it's so fast paced and you're doing so much. And even when you go through something, no matter what it is, you don't have the literal time to sit there and process it. You're on to the next thing. It gets stored away somewhere in your head.
Oh yeah, and any downtime you have, you're drinking and smoking or chewing tobacco,
you're not trying to think about it.
No, yeah, you're doing something unproductive. Like you're going to a mall, like that you've been to 900 freaking times. But the fact of the matter is, fuck, I'm doing it because I don't want to be on that damn base. I need a break. I need to get away, and then because you're right back at it at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever they call you in to do.
And that's the thing, bro, is it's mandated. There's no choice. So there's something about being given no choice that does something to the wiring of your brain for when you get out.
Truly, it is. And it's like, I remember this is something they'll tell you guys a lot about, just the idea of taking the uniform off and after service. I don't long for these days again, but I do remember them very, very much. I remember getting told on a, what is it, Wednesday afternoon, hey, we have to be at the parade deck Friday morning at 03:30. For why? We're going on a 15-mile hump.
Woo,
for what?
Yay!
Yay! And then you get to the parade deck.
Fun.
Yeah, and you go drop your pack. Oh yeah, Colonel said, or Major said not to be here until 05:30. Then why are we here? And then, oh yeah, we're not stepping off for another 2 hours because of the Colonel. What? It's just like the sheer fuckery and the fuck games. It's like, I don't know if they realize how much that rewires a human as a person. It's just insane. And I get why they do it. I understand why they do it, because they have to do what they have to do for the purposes of the military. But after they don't, if they're going to do that, they need to have, and I'm not saying they haven't done it since, but I know from my experience and from your experience, from what we've talked about, they don't set you up or give you the tools to prepare yourself for when you get out after that whole hard reset, hard rewire. It's I'll give you a Lucas Disney idea. For all of the new trilogy fans, and a lot of people didn't like them, one of my favorite characters in that whole trilogy was Boba Frick, the little guy who rewires C-3PO. And the idea of having to hardwire C-3PO to reset his brain to read a scroll that was from, the Empire, from the Sith. And he would never get his memory back, and then, they rewired him back to who he kind of was. But that whole idea of rewiring someone's brain to make them think differently, you don't set them up for, oh, this could be the thing, kind of, oh, you might not remember who these people are. They don't set you up for that idea.
No, to give people who haven't served a perspective, at least from my experience, when you get out, you go through another, for me, it was turning in gear, turning in, anything that I had that was government issued, which I was excited for. I was like, yeah, take this shit back. I'm good. I'm about to get out.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you're put into a 90-minute class. That's a transition class. TAPS program, I think it's called.
Yeah, so we had a week of it. We had ours were all day.
Yeah, but like we had multiple days,
Okay.
but it was only one section of that time was focused on
Oh,
the
yeah.
mental aspect of trying to navigate life outside, and it's a
Yeah.
slideshow,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and it's
yeah.
number phone numbers, and it's you're homeless, call this number. If you're suicidal, call this number. And it's like,
Yep.
okay, and then that's it. You do practice job interviews, and you know try to set up
Yeah.
your educational benefits or whatever you need to do, and
Yeah.
that's the extent of it.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that is so my experience with Temp and Tap, as we called it, they had VA reps there. And so the Marine Corps is very different. We have to remember, guys, the branches of service are very different in many aspects, and they do things differently. But I know when I went through Tip and Tap, we sat there and we had a whole day. It was like excuse me, we had a half-hour class, no, 90-minute class on what the VA was, and then after that, they would have people there that you could go talk to start filling out your medical records, and they checked over all your medical records, and then you went to another person, and then they talked to you the mental health aspect, and they did the rundown like you said. So did you not do the VA like medical record aspect of it?
We had the VA medical record
Okay,
aspect
okay.
of it, yeah, but it all just felt very rushed
No, it
and
was. It
and
really
very
was.
like oh we have to do this. There's difference between
Yeah.
like we want to help you set you up for
Right.
success, and
Yeah.
this is mandated. We have to just do this legally to push you out.
Yeah. Right. No.
You know,
100%.
and it
Yep.
felt just like a mandated thing. But anyway, let's dive into some Disney aspect of this. I want to
Yeah.
start off with a guy who, well, Disney's not going to give us the exact scenarios that we're talking about, but
Nope.
for me and James, there's characters out there in the Disneyverse that are relatable to this kind of thing. The biggest one to me is Buzz Lightyear.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
we're talking a
Yes.
literal space ranger who busted on the scene with a defined absolute mission. Where's Zurg at? I'm about to smoke this fool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And to go through the process of finding out that your entire life, your goal, your whole mission is imaginary and
Right.
not a real thing. You could see it throughout the movie that, it takes its effect on Buzz slowly realizing like, holy shit, my buttons don't even work. I can't even really fly.
Yeah.
I'm not what I thought I was.
And even when Woody tells him, "You're a child's
Only
plaything,"
thing, yeah,
it doesn't click. He's like, "No, I'm a space ranger. I'm
yeah.
this."
So for me, it's
And
like
it,
we get out, bro, and it's like we have a defined still like wired in our head, like this is
yeah.
how things are supposed to go. This is what we're supposed to do, and it's like somebody just looking
Mm-hmm.
at us and going, "You are not in the military anymore. None of that matters. You are a
Exactly.
regular person," and it's like that may take
And
some time
no,
to marinate.
100%. Yeah, dude, and that's a humbling experience because when we were in the, kind of to tie it back in is when we were in, it wasn't a favorable time to it was to a point, and then there were times after it that weren't favorable to be in. And
No,
the fact is like it was cool for like about 3 years, 4 years, and then it's like, why are we still doing what we're doing? And you even mentioned what you did. It was like, oh, well, good luck. And that was really hard. And for Buzz, Jesus Christ, when you think of that, that's such a tough realization for someone who spent his whole life with one mission.
yeah, and when your entire value is tied to mission readiness and being ready for that kind of environment,
Yeah.
peace can often feel like a complete failure where
Yes.
you're just like, all right, what am I supposed to do? And that navigation stuff. That
Well,
navigation is difficult.
no, 100%. So I have a good one for you.
Okay.
Tarzan.
Yeah, dude, Tarzan's a good one. I had that one on my list too.
Because you think about it, the guy is raised in a structured environment and a society of gorillas. I mean, you think about it. The guy literally he lived in military order because gorillas, if you think they're a really big pack animal like wolves. Another good one would be Mowgli in that sense too, because he was raised by wolves in a sense to a degree to where they had to send him off. But Tarzan, it's like a whole order of life and versus like that desire to be able to explore beyond that pack and explore more of the jungle. When you're in a tribe like that, and you can watch any documentary on Nat Geo, it really describes they move in a herd and that desire to want to be free. Just realizing that I'm not like you though too. I have I have emotions that you may not have. I want to go out and do more. And that for me in the military, that was like I remember sitting down and having a meeting with a major when I was getting ready to get out. And he goes, "Son, what do you want to do?" Call me son. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, there's that."
Like most of them do. Yeah.
Yeah. I well, okay. What was that? There's that. I'm
Like the guy from Pandora. I forget his name.
Oh yeah.
The big colonel.
Dude. Oh yeah. I always remember him as I remember him from the movie Tombstone as Ike Clanton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no, I literally I sat down with him and he goes, "Son, what do you want to do?" I go, "Well, at the time I was with this girl that I was supposed to marry, and I was like, well, I'm going to go and we're going to I'm going to go settle down, have a family." He goes, "You want to go to college?" I go, "Maybe after a little bit." He goes, "Well, you could stay in." I go, "Yeah,
I could.
no, I could.
I'm not.
Yeah, and this was right in the middle of my second deployment, and I'd already kind of made up my mind then. I'm like, I don't want to deploy again. I want to go explore something other and not be on a deployment. And if they're not going to give me what I'm asking, and I've already put in to ask for this stuff, and no one's helping me, I need to go explore my other options. And I could feel that with Tarzan. 100% feel it with Tarzan.
Tarzan's a goat, dude, or a gorilla, but a goat nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because you think about it, when he sees Jane, he wants to go explore the human world. There's so much more to life inside the jungle.
Well, it took him realizing that there are animals out there that look exactly like him is confusing.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Huh. You don't look like a gorilla. You look like a very fine lady.
You look like me, but a girl.
You look like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tarzan, Jane.
Yeah, no, 100%. And they play Tarzan and Jane with an orangutan. Yikes.
One that I have been watching on repeat. You need the big one, bro.
Ah!
A movie that I've been watching on repeat since having a daughter that I've been more relating to, which is kind of funny, is Frozen.
Okay.
Frozen has been a movie that when you're the Elsa and Anna relationship to me is a veteran who just got out and they're friends from back home.
Yes.
That's kind of how I look at it, right? Why can't you be normal? Why can't you play with me? Why can't you do these things with me? What's wrong with you? What's going on? Why can't you talk to me? Why can't you open up, right? And that feeling of wanting to isolate and be alone and feel like if you just control a situation, that's how you're going to cope with it. It's not good. It's not healthy.
No,
more I watch it, I'm kind of like, okay, Disney, way to make a grown man feel a little, relatable.
That's so solid. Oh gosh.
And when I first started paying attention, my daughter now knows the song word for word, and so I'll sing it with her. The Let It Go soundtrack, right? But when you really listen to some of those lyrics, Conceal Don't Feel,
Yeah.
don't let them know. I kind of going like, damn, shots
Well,
fired
it's like,
at your boy here. What the what
well,
the
even,
fuck?
do you want to build a snowman? And that whole
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, you can't. It's like that whole idea
yeah,
of that push pull, because we like, oh, do you want to do this? I want to do this with you so bad. Well, like, it's like someone who just got out of a deployment and like, oh, let's go see a concert. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
no, doesn't
As
sound
much,
fun. And then, oh,
no,
why not? Well, okay,
yeah,
you just can't take the no. You've got to have me explain it.
yeah, like,
And that's where the
bro,
concealing, like, you just make up something. I don't feel
yeah,
like going.
I don't feel like
You
going.
know,
Oh, I have a thing. I have mandatory fun. Something
yeah,
stupid. But
yeah, yeah.
you can always blame something. Yeah.
Frozen, bro, is a big. I mean, like even down to just the isolation, running off
Mm-hmm.
and being by yourself because you don't feel like people are safe when they're with you.
Yeah.
That you would
Yeah.
unintentionally hurt somebody is like just such another gut check, from
Yeah.
a kids movie. You know what
No,
I mean? Like
100%. No,
like
and that.
it's like, bro, and Disney's layering of like, hey, baseline, all the kids are gonna love this movie. They're gonna sing it, whatever. But if you're an adult out there and you
Yeah.
relate to this and you pay attention, you're gonna get some healing out of this a little bit.
That's solid. No, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Mine for freedom, dude. You go on a trip on this one, Aladdin.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Because you think about it, he's very oppressed. Look at he becomes very oppressed, and he thinks his freedom is going to come from rubbing a lamp and getting wishes and becoming a prince and all that. But even before that, even when he was oppressed, he was seeking freedom and looking for ways to be free, because he was always helping, focusing, helping little kids, the street urchin, way of, challenging the traditional norms. And then when he got tied into the traditional norms, he felt oppressed. And it wasn't until he was able to make a real choice, he was truly free. And for me, that was a lot of like the Marine Corps. All right, guys, it's cool to be a Marine. Don't get me wrong. I love being a Marine. It's something I'll never be able to say. There's not a lot of people get to say that they got to do that, but
Fair.
it is very oppressive. It is military is oppressive, but the Marine Corps is super oppressive. It's because you have to maintain a certain rigid structure. It has to be this way. You have to maintain certain structures. You have to maintain a certain standard, and that standard becomes life. That standard becomes, well, like the Mandalorian says, this is the way. And if you didn't embody that, then you struggled. And that's such an oppressive feeling. Yeah, I thrived in it because I like the physical aspect of things.
You have no
But
choice
yeah, you have no choice. You
but
either
to
embrace
thrive in it. Yeah.
the suck, or the suck's going to eat you fucking alive. Straight up.
And that's the thing with the military, but I would imagine the Marines even worse is there is no, and tell me if I'm wrong because I'm just speculating here, but there's no, you guys are such a badass men and women that it's not said or trained in you, but it's a byproduct that anything in your head that's affecting you is a weakness and it's not to be talked about. It's not to be addressed. It's a defect that you need to fix on your own.
Yeah, you fix it on your own.
And that's not the way.
No, it wasn't until I knew I was getting out that I started talking to a naval hospital doctor. It wasn't until a doctor saw me at a medical, because they did mandatory checks when you got back from deployment, and you did the little boxes, you did this, and then they go, oh, well, you meet this criteria, go talk to this person. I talked to them like, yeah, you need to go to Naval Hospital. They go, are you staying? The first thing they asked me, are you staying in? No, I'm getting out. Go talk to this person. And that started my journey with the whole learning how to do the mental health stuff in the military as you're getting out, and understanding how to get your medical jacket right, because straight up, If I didn't have that, I would have been so fucked when I got out. So much worse than I already was. Because it's all a mental game, and it's like you don't talk about it. You're hurt, you don't talk about it. Do you know what the old adage is? Here's some Motrin, here's some water, drink up. We have straws on location, suck it up because you'll
Have you
live.
tried changing your socks today?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you tried changing your socks? Oh, get a new pair of boots, dude. When you're a PFC, a private, a Lance Corporal, you don't have money to buy new boots all the time, guys. They were, even when we were in, it was expensive to buy boots. So it's
Oh
like,
my God, yeah, bro. I remember looking at boots. I'm like,
and
don't these
some,
can I have these issued to me, please?
yeah, and someone like Aladdin, who never even had boots. Imagine that guy when he finally had boots and he was able to, but that became oppressive because he was able to create his own freedom when he was even in the lower levels of life. So he embodied freedom from the beginning. And when you're in the military, there is no freedom. And when you want to be so free and you want to be out and you finally get a taste of it, it feels like oppression. It truly feels like oppression. So I kind of flipped the idea, but I can understand the idea because in so many ways the structure was freedom for me in general because I was free because I knew what I was doing. I that structure allowed me, yeah, you have to be here, here, and here. You're going to do this, this, and this. Okay, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to knock that shit out. But guess what? That's what it is. That's what you do. And in some ways, now I look back in it, and I talked to Lou about this a while back. Um, it was about, we felt so free within it, but our choices were kind of given to us in the way that the SUT can only give it to an each individual Marine that is getting out. There's their own unique story, and his is very unique as to mine. But the fact is it's the way the SUC handles you in the Marine Corps, and it's truly, once you realize that you embraced it and you loved it and you longed for it, I think about 20 years might not have been so hard, and it would have been okay. But I don't know, and that's how that, and I think that's how Aladdin felt like he could have been a lifetime as a prince. And yeah, he ended up being a prince, but he felt free when he was able to make his own choice. When Jasmine was able to have her say in her choice.
I still am amazed that it can never be proven, but I'm assuming that Robin Williams was still going through, even though it was still, I think, like 15 years before his passing, that he filmed Aladdin. One of the best performances of any actor of all time, and still battling whatever demons he was going through.
Oh gosh. So, and there's a lot. If you guys don't know anything about Robin Williams, 20 years of cocaine will do that to you. 20 years, yeah, folks. It'll mess with you and it'll change your brain chemistry. But and the other thing is with performers, and I know this from being, I've been in theater and I've been doing acting stuff since I was 10 years old. And when you're on, even doing radio, when I'm doing my radio shows, you have to be on. And you have to go to a certain place. And if you're there, 365, yeah, that wears on you. That I mean, I can't be on 365. There's no way. But the fact is, always on. For him to give one of the best performances of his life, battling demons and fighting addiction and doing these things, man.
Now, the last movie for me that really stood out to me,
okay,
is WALL-E.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, WALL-E to me is the epitome of isolation and what it's like to just truly be alone after your job is, I guess, done, and then find that routine and loneliness, and then to have it broken by finding some connection again.
Right.
And that one to me was like, I guess the message to me from WALL-E is like having structure without meaning, I guess, isn't true fulfillment.
No,
like if you're not if you're not working towards something. And that's what makes veterans such good hires is
Yes.
as long as you treat us like a normal person, whatever your whatever the job is that you're doing, it's going to get done at a very high level with somebody who wants to grind it out. And when I first got out, I applied at the hotel as a manager, and I had hotel experience before I enlisted. And
Okay.
I thought, cool, this hotel's hiring for a manager. I just came off of being a supervisor of multiple airmen, writing their EPRs, their performance reports, and managing people deployed, working on teams, being in charge of stuff. I'm like, all right, this is hotel front desk manager should not be a far off, problem. And they offered me a job as a front desk clerk, and they hired somebody else. So we started at the same time. I took the job as a front desk clerk or whatever, and had to be one of the worst managers of all time.
Yeah.
Ended up getting fired. I ended up leaving after I could tell they were eventually going to be like, "Oh, our bad," But then that ties into loyalty.
Right.
You're
Right.
you're not shit to me now. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. No, that's totally true. God, that's a good one. Well, yeah.
You're just always alone.
Always alone. And for me, another one was Mulan.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge identity crisis right there.
Because you think about it, she in the whole, yeah. Besides the whole identity crisis of having to portray a male when she's a female, that's really tough in that type of scenario when you have to be that structured and rigid, and that like and that type of dynasty, because that whole culture, that's the way they were. I think I have to sneeze. Hold on, this is going to suck. Hold on. Oh gosh. Thank you. That's cool. Nice and nice. No, but no, even that. But also within the structure, like she could have been appointed a general. Think about this. But but having to enforce strict military structures. But how could she do that when she's not in that? She can't be that. And
Yeah.
then she also, number one, it also conflicted with her values. And for me, when I got out, like a lot of what you do in the military, and when you get in, your value system doesn't really change from when you were a human being. Your basic values are your basic values. And there are things that I did in the military that I know you probably did in the military that was like, this violates some of my basic values, but I have to fucking do it. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up getting in a lot of trouble. And I can't, like, it's this huge tightrope that you walk every day. And I'm not saying that they make you do shit that's going to, incriminate yourself, but it's like you have moral codes that you live by as people. Everybody does. And there's some just morally wrong things that you're told to do. And for her, it's like enforcing certain military regulations is like, this is a conflict in my interest and my value, because she's like, for Mulan, she was more flexible in what she wanted to portray, and that would have, like, being a general, you have to be rigid, you have to enforce every structural rule.
So, what would you say was her main goal to achieve?
I think for her to rally troops, to be a leader of, like, people that, those leaders that you can always confide in and you could go to, and they were just those people. Those were those guys or those gals that, like, it didn't matter your problem. They had your back no matter what. That's what she wanted to be. She wanted to be that person because the well-being, troop welfare. She cared more about troop welfare, and that's also how I was as a leader. I once I became an E4 corporal in the Marine Corps, that carried a lot of responsibility because it's your first step into being an NCO, and being an NCO is a big deal because you finally get to lead, and the first thing you have to really learn when you're leading is troop welfare, because there's this gap between between ranks. But once you become an NCO, those lower ranks, those are now your troops. You have to start looking out for your buddies even differently. And that was in some cases it was easy, but other cases it was really hard. And I could see in some cases for her it would be there's that conflict because they're the ones that are like, oh, super structure, but no matter what, she wanted the better well-being. And that's, I think, well, you need those people, and that's what she
One
was.
of my first troops that I was assigned. Shout out if you're randomly listening. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Love you. I was given orders just like this, very plain, very simple. Hey, Dunn, you need to go talk to this guy, issue him an LOR, failure to pay, military credit card, the military star card. So go give his paperwork. Okay. So I go sit down with him and end up figuring out that he has family stuff that he's paying for back home, some kind of emergency, and he can't foot the monthly bill. Now for the Air Force, if you're a month late on your military star card over 30 days, you get written up. They don't play.
No, they don't.
So I did not issue his paperwork, and I got him set up with a family advocate service. I said, certainly there's got to be something we can do to waive, ruining your career over a late credit card payment. And it ended up working out. But most people would take that paperwork, give it to their troop, and say, sign this, pay your shit.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck out of my office and go on about their day. And first chip at somebody's mental state. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're causing just another problem. Now, am I saying that everybody needs to be waived of their financial duties? Not in any instance, but everybody has a story. As a supervisor, you got to listen to it, figure out what's truth, what's bullshit, what's going on with your people, and treat them like human beings. So,
I had two cases where I had one extreme where I had to be one way, and I had one guy who was just easy and good to train and good to work with, and you always have those guys. And the one guy I had, he called me. He was frantic. He was going to be late for PT because his car wouldn't start. I go, okay, I got you. They're like, because if you're late, they want to give you just a counseling. They want you to counsel the Marine and put a page in. I'm like, no, I ain't going to counsel. They're like, well, when he gets in, you need to write him up. I go, I ain't writing him up. He called me. Like, well, I go, write me up. I'm not going to write him up for the simple fact that his car would not start. How do you have proof it wouldn't? He'll show me a receipt. And sure enough, he showed me a receipt. And they're like, they had to eat crow because I literally stood up for this kid that, was a good Marine. But I had the other one who decided he wanted to jump off the second deck before we're going on deployment, broke both his femurs. And when we got back, I got stuck with him, and he had a drinking problem. He was, and he would lie to me consistently. And it got to the point where I had to get ornery with him and yell and do what I had to do as a leader. But it's like in the military, you can have two extremes, but it's all about how you handle them. Each case, it's case by case. But if you have good people that need to be treated like a human, treat them like a human, because yours is a perfect case.
Bro, I got into a fucking fight at the mall.
Oh, God.
Full-on fist fight, arrested because somebody bag snatched me, and I tackled him. He ended up punching me in the eye. I had a huge black eye. I had it in the mount. I just, out of instinct, I have all kinds of fight experience. But for some reason, I just picked his head to my chest and slammed it down.
Oh, God.
And it knocked him unconscious, and there's a blood all over, because this is like a mall floor, so we're talking like a hard
concrete, hard tile, concrete,
floor, concrete, whatever. And so I'm arrested. I get one phone call my supervisor, and I'm like, I just been in a fight. I know I'm fucked. And they tried to throw the book at me before they even figured out what happened. And my supervisor, thank God, was such a chill dude. He knew me and knew I'm not going out just picking fights. At this time,
that's not you.
I was fighting in a cage too. when I got off. I was doing mixed martial arts fights, and I think I had 3 fights at the time, and so I had to go in front of my entire commander. I think it was colonel, and explain it. The cops didn't let me go. They didn't even charge me. They just had to hold me until they figured out the dude was okay, and ended up getting nothing, but only because I had a stand-up supervisor.
Yeah. I had supervisors. It was funny. Not funny. It's like I wrecked my car. Never swerved to miss an animal, folks. Put my car into a ditch. And I called him. I go, it was right before 96 too. And I called him. I go, I'm not going to be in today. He goes, why? I go, well, you're the one who sent me to drop so-and-so off at the airport. And on the way back, I swerved to miss a damn coyote. Because I'm a dog person. I see them. I'm like, I should hit the fucking dog. Shouldn't have hit him. And because coyotes are dogs. This basic wild mutts. And I put my car into a ditch. And yeah. And he was like, okay, I got you. Solid. It just show up like, you did that on purpose. I go, no, I didn't. Why would I wreck my car on purpose?
Well, I think we've covered what we want to cover for this episode. Now, we do have a little game we're going to play.
Oh, shit.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's just a rapid fire question game that I'm going to ask you basically who struggled more. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 characters and the reason why. Okay. And if it's one that we want to dive into, we can, but we'll try to keep it to where you just pick and give a little bit of reason why, and we kind of move on.
Okay. All right.
Okay. First round, we have Buzz Lightyear versus Woody. Identity loss versus being replaced.
I would say being replaced. Because think about this. When you've been in your job, because yes, Buzz has been in his job, and that I understand losing your identity in that way, but when you think about it in the long term of the military, you're just a number. You're going to be replaced. You are replaceable. You're not there. You have a shelf life. Buzz, yeah, he gave up his uniform, and he had to realize he lost his identity. But when you get replaced, aren't you giving up that uniform as well? So it's the same sort of thing.
Fair. I have to agree with you. I think I could handle my mission and not figuring out where I'm at than somebody just seeming like they care about me wholeheartedly and what I do for them, and then just going, oh, new shiny toy that can't even fly. Idiot. Yeah. All right, we got Simba versus Hercules. Survivor's guilt versus never feeling enough.
Oh, God. I'm going to go with Herc on this one. And this is my reason.
I got Simba on this one for me.
I could see both. Because being a Marine, and this is different for me, and I take this to myself. It's like, in the Marine Corps, you never feel like you're enough when you're in the positions you're in. No matter how hard you try, no matter if you're given 110%, you still don't feel like you're living up to your full potential, because your leaders expect more and more and more and more, and they just they want to keep you in the fight as long as they can. It's just like, don't fall out of the saddle. So I can understand survivor's guilt though too.
I think Simba, just because that dude went the whole movie thinking he killed his dad. Now, if he would have known from the get-go that he wasn't responsible, because that's just not like you were in a car crash and you survived and everybody else died and it wasn't your fault. That's easier to deal with if you were the one drunk driving and killed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Simba just going through the whole movie thinking he killed Pops and somehow built up enough on his own, still thinking that, to come back.
On a personal level, I get that. We've talked about it on previous episodes on my
admirable
level.
For sure.
So yeah, I get the survivor's guilt, but no, 100%. 100%, I agree with you. I can see both sides of it. Like I said, that's a tough one.
This one's a little bit easier to me. Might be might be opposite of you though. We never know with these things. Lightning
Right.
McQueen versus Mater. Ego
Oh,
collapse versus fear of being left behind.
oh gosh. No, so I think the ego collapse because that
I think
again,
the opposite. That's too funny. That's funny.
because well, you think about it. The Marine Corps is all it's bravado and ego, and it's you said it earlier. It's like you guys are badasses. You like so you, it's like even that personification of being a Marine badass, just being a basic Marine, just going through boot camp. You guys, wow, you guys are badasses. You did that. You did what? And we have our basic jobs like everybody else. Yeah, it's different, and it is what it is. But when you get out, there's that ego. It's like all right, so it's like in the scene in Top Gun where Maverick and Goose are sitting in front of the colonel. And he's like, your ass is writing checks that you can't cash. That's what
Right.
happens to your ego when you get out. It's like your whole the whole thing that you were built up to be and do, you're no longer doing. And that's like and your whole identity becomes that. It's not like, oh, I'm an airman. I was this. No, you're a United States Marine. You were this. You're this. You don't get this, this, and this because you were this. You get it because you were a Marine, and it's a whole ego thing. So,
See, I'm thinking the movie specifically. I never felt bad for Lightning McQueen, not one time. For
okay,
Mater, I felt I felt something for Mater because he's just such a sweet character. You know what I
he
mean?
is.
Full of love and like I will do whatever I can to make you better. Don't worry about me. You
Yeah.
know. So I definitely felt more bad for him.
See, and
Um, go ahead.
I can see that because his whole existence is this town and doing this, and then he meets his best friend. Like that one person, he's like, I care about this guy, and he's new. He's the only person that I've like. I'm the only person that cares about this guy as an outsider, you know. And then he's
Okay.
this big racer that goes off and does things, and I want to be there with him, and I want to be, because he finally found something that he can kind of relate to, and someone who gets him.
So now we're gonna get into some harder ones.
Okay.
There's a few more, so I want to keep these as short as we can.
Okay, fair enough.
But let's do Elsa versus Anna.
Oh God.
Isolation versus emotional neglect. Um,
Oh.
I'll take mine first.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. Okay.
I'm going to go with Anna.
Yeah.
And I looked at it in terms of veteran and spouse.
Yeah.
And I will always, no matter all the stuff that I've been through, I will always think it's harder to be somebody who doesn't quite understand and is expected to support. Um, it's
Yeah.
got to be way harder, in my
It
opinion,
it
to
is.
not know fully what it's like and still be there for that person day in and day out. It's
Now here's a caveat that not a lot of people think about. So my wife is prior Marine, but she's a Marine reservist. So if you're married to a spouse who is even in the reserves, they don't fully understand if they haven't ever deployed what you have been through. So that's another caveat there too. You have to think about. So I agree with
sure.
you 100%, 100%. Because then you have
So
that
you're on the
idea.
honor train too. Okay.
Yeah, because you like the idea of comparison. It's like, well, you can't share the experience, so you want to share the experience. You know,
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
it
Another
is.
tough one
It really is.
is Mulan versus Moana. You got a warrior without war versus a leader without certainty.
Ooh.
Hmm.
I I say a leader without certainty because there's
Go
so many
Moana.
leaders without wars. Yeah, I
Yeah.
because I just you have to think about it. There have been droughts within our any society where there's been no wars. So there's always been that. That's always been a fact of life. But you need good leaders to get to that point to understand what the mission is. And Moana didn't understand her mission. and she had no certainty. And if you don't have the certainty of life and what your mission is, how are you going to be that great leader that can, when there's no time of war, be where you need to be? So.
Now we've got two goofy sidekicks, bro.
Oh shit.
This is like a little wild card round, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
So we've got Olaf and Forky. We got naive purpose versus existential confusion.
Oh God, you go on first on this one, man.
Dude, I will weep over my boy Olaf. I will weep over Olaf. But it's unfair to Forky because he came in so late to the game that he felt like a not important character to me. If that's rude, sorry, but Olaf was a key piece to bringing a little bit of that unconditional love to Frozen. Olaf is the same thing as who we just talked about. The same thing as oh shit, who was it? We were just talking about him.
Who? Oh, Mater.
Mater. Yeah, same thing as Mater.
Yeah, Mater. Unconditional love.
Same kind of character, man, where it's like nothing bothers him. Hey, if you want to sit out in by the fire, I'll sit with you, even though I'm gonna melt a little bit. You know, like that's such a W character.
So I think the impetus. Don't get me wrong.
We're losing you a little bit here.
Yeah, I know. Same here. We're almost done here, guys. Internet, hold out. There we go. We're back. Anyways, dungeon. But no, so I'm gonna go with Forky because the existential confusion we work with when we were out, but he also was unconditional love once he realized, like his look at that scene with him and Woody going down the road, and Woody's all upset about like being lost and doing this, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this. And what was Forky doing? Just trying to understand and trying to love in the same time. Kind of like Olaf, because Olaf understood he was a snowman, but he didn't understand that he was going to melt and what was going to happen when he melted. And it's kind of an existential crisis.
Or he did, or he never cared.
That could be it too.
That would be crazy.
That would be so. And so I think both characters, although Olaf was a kind of a main character sidekick, I think both characters shine a light on both sides of that coin that you flipped, because they both share similar qualities, but on different sides.
For sure. And then one that is interesting, that's an interesting one, is Mr. Incredible versus Bob Parr, which is pre and post life hero.
Oh gosh.
Look how miserable he was at that job though, bro, just sitting there.
Oh dude. Yeah, typing, and then he threw his boss through the just like
that sums up what it's like to be the military and take on a regular job.
It really does. No, it's like that identity crisis. And then you have those people that get out for like not even 30 days and they're like right back in because they couldn't handle it. That's like Bob Parr putting back on the Mr. Incredible outfit.
Little tight, but
Yeah, but it's like it really truly is to the two sides of the coin life. It's like Two-Face and Batman. It's like you have that double-sided life there, because you were once this one person and now you have to be this completely different person. And it's so hard. And that's such a good one. Bob Parr and Mr. Incredible. That was solid, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one to end it, because that's pretty much what it's like when you are Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
You have less family time. You have less downtime, and it's mission all the time.
All the time.
Bob Parr got time to be with his children, But he had to put up with a shitty job and the lows of like normal life, being a normal dude out there just living.
Yeah, and I'm going to take this a step further before we get out here. Look at the second movie. Look at Incredibles 2, where the whole family at the end of the first one, and they found out how, just through that existential crisis that Bob Parr had, they found out they all were like able to do that. It's all like him, and Jack has become a favorite. So there's that.
Jack's a beast.
Jack's the best. So
strongest of them all.
He is. But no, that's a great one. I love that. That's a good one to end on. That's a real thinker too.
Yeah, and we hope you guys enjoyed this episode because it shines a little light into what it's like to be a veteran and get out and be a little lost. But it's also similar to if you go to college and you get out, and a lot of people don't use their degrees and they feel like they wasted time or time's moved on without them. You will always find your purpose is just going to be, you can't gauge it off other people. That's where I went wrong. Well, this guy's already got it figured out. What's wrong with me? Why am I, not able to figure this shit out right away? And you'll get there.
Everybody, it's in your time. Don't feel like you have to figure it out tomorrow, because it's not that easy. Josh and I both know. Josh is still going through throes of stuff. I'm still going through throes of stuff. It's hard. Something creeps up every day to where, God, I wish it was this way. God, I wish I was back here. God, it's just like you could rattle it off every day if you want, but you just take your time, breathe it out, and know you got friends in us here at Operation Magic, because that's what we do.
Well, we have Morgan Freeman, bro. I mean, didn't land a major role, I think, till his 50s.
No, 100%. And I
mean,
think about it, guys. It's real life.
Your time is your time, brothers and sisters. It is. It will happen in due time.
Guys, this has been such an amazing episode. Thank you, Josh, for this episode, this topic. I mean, that was amazing. Now, the one thing we didn't do at the top of the show, and I think it's for good reason, because this is a good topic to jump right into, mention ourselves, our sponsors, everything else that we do at the top, but I like doing it at the back end of the show sometimes, and this is one of those topics we got to do that. So thank you to Magic Done Right, Josh's wonderful wife, Kim. She is always his anchor, his rock, and she's one of our great sponsors. If you need travel needs, check her out. Skull Face Project, Matthew O'Brien, and his artwork. If you want to get yourself Skull Face, or check out our shirts over at operationmagic.printful.me, we can do that. Signs of Amusement, those guys are great. He's working on our signs here soon. I got to actually touch base with him on them and see where we are at. But it's been busy. It's the holidays. I want to get them through the holidays at least, because I know these guys are busy. Check them out at signsofamusement.com. And to everybody else, hope your new year is starting off great. I know ours is starting off great. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care.
See you guys.
All right, squad, listen up. You already know who we are. We are the Operation Magic Podcast. Disney loving, dad run, veteran built. Every week, we're here bringing you that magic straight to the veins. And now we've got something even bigger. It's official, guys. The Operation Magic merch. Those t-shirts, those hoodies, the mugs, stickers, you name it. All Disney inspired, all made for the Operation Magic squad. This isn't just gear. This is the uniform. You throw this on, you're not just a fan. You're a part of the family. Every piece supports this show, keeps the mission alive, and helps us keep bringing laughs, the stories, and the magic every single week. So what are you waiting for? Hit operationmagic.printful.me right now. Grab your gear and show the world who you are rolling with. Operation Magic. Rep the magic. Rep the squad.